My dear fellow educators, we are getting ready to observe another celebration of our teacherhood, the National Teachers' Day. Greetings to you all on this joyous occasion. I would also like to express my sincere appreciation to you all for being a part of a noble and respected professional community, the community of educators. Tom Peters, the famous management expert, business author, and speaker, in his work Reimagine, envisions a system of education that recognizes that learning is natural, that a love of learning is normal, and that real learning is passionate learning. The most daunting task lying before us educators today is our effort to create a generation of self-motivated, self-directed, and passionate learners in our classrooms. Could the reason for this be that the connect between learners' abilities and teachers' competencies in today's classrooms is broken? Is it because of our inability to keep pace with the changing nature of education and learners? Or is it because we are still obsessed with the factory model of education where the classrooms are expected to be like the assembly lines of a manufacturing unit? I strongly believe it's high time we talked more about a school curriculum that values questions above answers, creativity above repetition of facts, individuality above uniformity, and excellence above standardized performance. I think this should become the core of any deliberation about 21st century education. Today's classrooms are places where tomorrow's inventors are born and tomorrow's technologies are invented. For this to happen, we can no more rely on yesterday's beliefs and approaches. In fact, the biggest challenge our education system is facing today could be our effort to create tomorrow's learners in today's classrooms using yesterday's techniques and methods. Though it sounds paradoxical, it's true, isn't it? And aren't we, the educators, also partly to be blamed for this exercise in futility? The world has already moved from industrial economy to knowledge economy. But it's sad that most of our schools look much the same today as they did a generation ago, except perhaps for the infrastructural changes. Moreover, we teachers ourselves are not developing the practice and skills required to meet the diverse needs of today's classrooms and learners. This poses a serious challenge to the relevance of teachers in today's classrooms. Let's ask ourselves a few tough questions today. What are the skills that the young learners need to participate fully in this rapidly changing world? And how can we design the kind of curriculum and transactional strategies that develop those skills? What's the role of teachers in promoting creativity and leading innovation, both inside and outside the classrooms? How do we effectively respond to 21st century learning needs? By refining our teachers, by regrouping our learners, by redefining learning, and redesigning the pedagogical approaches. We all know that the new generation of learners sitting in front of us in our classrooms would definitely confront us with unexpected challenges and tough situations going forward. Our learners are far ahead of us in terms of their skills and competencies to use technology for gathering, compiling, and disseminating information. And most of them spent a lot of time amidst technology and digital devices and are used to being bombarded with graphic explosions and special effects. These learners would find human voice and ordinary interactions in our classrooms inadequate stimulation for learning. Sustaining their interest and involvement in the teaching learning process would require a variety of strategies and varied approaches, especially with the attention span of the young learners declining drastically. We are living in a century where the role of education as an agent of change is gaining more acceptance and credence. The education institutions are expected to transmit a way of life to society along with imparting empirical knowledge. We are already talking about making education more student-centered and personalized, providing them rich experience and wider opportunities to keep pace, stay relevant, and keep learners engaged. This scenario demands a sincere effort from all of us towards building a system of education that helps the young generation to connect with the real world and understand the issues that our world faces. We must redefine the role of curriculum, teachers, learners, and learning experiences in the new scenario and talk about learning as seamless, going beyond classrooms, textbooks, and academic hours. I'm sure you would agree with me that to make this happen, we need to become educators of a different class and mindset. We need to keep exploring, keep experimenting, keep trying, and keep attempting things that we have not attempted earlier. We should get out of our fixation with the one-size-fits-for-all model of pedagogical practices. We cannot expect our learners to be passionate and motivated unless we evince the same qualities in us as the mentors and facilitators. We need to come out of comfort zones and transform the dynamics of learning spaces. We need to become more inclusive, intuitive, and humane towards our learners, both inside and outside our classrooms. To make our classrooms more organized and effective, we as educators should possess a sound knowledge of our subject of expertise, along with a deep sensitivity towards the emotional and intellectual needs of our learners, coupled with the right pedagogical judgment. As educators of the 21st century, we need to become the forerunners of an education system that enriches both the head and the heart of our learners and influences both their capacity and capability. Let's not get handicapped by the expert blind spot in our classrooms. Let's allow our learners to experience the pleasure, not the pressure of learning. Let's build character along with content. And let's not forget to talk about compassion and not just passion. Above all, let's keep reminding ourselves as often as possible what it is like to be learners. We have an enormous role to play in today's world. There's a whole generation looking up to us for inspiration, motivation, and guidance. There's a vast ocean of knowledge and experience before us from which we need to learn, relearn, and in some cases unlearn. If the destiny of a nation is shaped in the classrooms, it's our gentle and magical touch that defines the shape of this change. Let's prepare ourselves for this great responsibility. Let's be proud of calling ourselves educators. Let's become the true agents of change by creating future-ready citizens in our classrooms. Happy Teachers' Day to all of you.